Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back, or welcome to another Bangs audio review. Well, except this is not a review. Today we're going to do the top 10 values of 2024. In my humble opinion, anyway, out of what I've tried, I consider these sets to be the best bang for the buck, and they all have to come in at 120 or less because my top 10 was top 10 was 120 and up. I felt like that was a good breaking point. For some reason, that's just where I landed. So, anyway, the values, and because it's the holiday season and stuff, like for gift ideas, if you don't want to break the bank, it's kind of a good time to release this list, I think. Next week, I believe, at some point next week, I'll be doing the all-time list, and that's probably more going to be like a top 15 because I don't think I could squeeze it into 10. That list in particular is going to be updated at least 3 to 4 times a year as I try new sets, because I think that's a list that can be helpful if it's consistently updated, kind of like your ranking list situation. So, anyway, without further ado, today we will do the top 10 values. Starting with honorable mention, those that did not make the list but possibly could have, right, if I hadn't tried some of the other ones. The Chime Clean, which I found to be really just a nice, satisfying, middle of the road sound signature wise. Not super well, yeah, pretty good amount of bass actually, some decent treble, and just a solid set for $50. The Chime Clean gets an honorable mention nod. The Fiio FP3, that's the planar, which runs 85 to 90-ish, I thought was very good. Not at the level of some of, like, the RDT10 Pro, for example. Just didn't quite have enough excitement to it to make the list. I am still getting to know it, so possibly it could sneak on there if I make a revision at some point. I'll obviously let y'all know. But it is a very solid set, and it gets a recommend for sure. And then, even though I have some issue with Zins and insofar as like their other set that I tried, the Blue Fairy, the HSO8, the HSO1 was just a super solid set. Like, I like it probably, yeah, no, not probably, definitely a touch more than the PDM4 from Pi Audio, and same configuration, single DD, 3 BA. Actually, I think the HSO1 might be 1 DD and 4 BAs. Whether that gives it the advantage or not, I don't know. But anyway, it definitely beat out the Pi Audio set for the values list in honorable mention section. So you can check that out. Goes on sale for about $80 fairly regularly, so pretty solid set for that price point. To the official top 10 now, which we'll do a slow reveal. At number 10, Tangzu Waner Studio Edition. There she is right there. There's Waner. That's her. Anyway, well, at least some artist's depiction of what she possibly looked like. Here's the OG Waner, the old girl. I'm sure that made it onto a bunch of people's value lists when that was released, the SG. Anyway, for like I would say a reference tuning. Not a lot of bass really there, but excellent mids and upper mids and treble, vocal oriented set. Really well done. Not a lot of detraction from it outside of the lack of bass. I felt like it performed very well considering its price point is around $20 to $25, less than 20 on sale. That's kind of a banger set. As long as you're not like a bass head, that set is amazing for the price point, and certainly blows a lot of stuff out of the water. That's even, double the price from other IEM companies. So very solid set. I'll link all of the reviews to these guys in the description, which means that if you look in the description, you're going to see the reveal anyway. I didn't realize both the thumbnail and the caption of the review shows up when you copy it. So you want to skip the video, go straight to the description. You'll get the top 10 right there. At number 9, another planar, the Segor Luna, which I did feel like was a touch more well balanced and a touch, maybe just a touch warmer, so maybe more for my preference. than the aforementioned FP3. Although, like I said, still getting to know the FP3. But good enough, a good enough performer to make it onto the list, especially considering this planar is right around $45, a little bit less on sale. If you want to get into planars, but you're not sure where to start, I would start with this Segor Luna because it is a planar. Like, you're not going to mistake it necessarily for another type of set, but it's that more modern tuning that like the RDT10 Pro has, the Lecture SO8 has, where the treble is just a little bit more tame. So the set seems to me anyway to be a little bit more approachable, especially if you're just getting into the hobby or just getting into trying planars. So Segor Luna, SGOR Luna. I'm not sure if Segor is how you pronounce it. That's number 9. Number 8, we've got the EPZ Q1 Pro. Had to have an EPZ set on here. I think the Q1 Pro is one of the best dynamic driver, sub $50 dynamic drivers that I have. I don't feel like it's necessarily over the top in any particular way. Just a really well balanced set, very natural tuning, and very accurate presentation. It's not going to wow you with soundstage. It's not going to wow you with sparkle. It's not going to wow you with rumble. It's not going to wow you, but overall, like, just a really solid, enjoyable set, which I liked just enough more than the Confine Clean to put it on this list. All right, number 7, and this could be higher, obviously, but I put it in at 7 because it's on the higher end of the price point or price range for this list, coming in at like 115. Maybe you can get it for under 100. I don't think that's very common, but it probably would happen on Ali with coins and coupons, etc., sale price. The CCA Hydro, like, to me, was a very satisfying set with like the switches all on. With the switches all off, it was kind of middle of the road, and I did prefer it definitely with the 2 bass switches on versus them being off. I felt I could listen to it with the bass switches on and the treble switches off, or mid and treble switch off, just as much as I could listen to them with all 4 on. Solid set, enjoyable set, engaging set, warm, fun, bassy set. To an extent, even with the bass switches off. I just felt like it provided great value because you do get some different experiences based on where you're putting those switches, whether they're on, whether they're off. You're going 1 3 2 4, 1 2 3 4. However you're doing it, it gives you a different experience. I didn't love every aspect of the different experiences, but altogether, I thought it was a really, really nice value set and performed absolutely to its price point. If not above, at least to its price point. Just think about having 4 IEMs in one, basically, and that's why the CCA Hydro is at number 7. At number 6, the Dunu Titan S2. I really like this set a lot. I feel it has great slam in the mid bass. I feel like it's got good ear gain. The energy is there without being over the top. The treble's got enough energy to it. It does extend slightly into that sparkle range, if not quite into the air range, but again, a set that's a little bit more V-shaped, balanced. The mids are not super recessed. You could still make out vocals and instrumentation. I don't know. It kind of hit all of the right notes without completely blowing me away. I mean, I thought that it was a very, very, very good set. It got a highly recommended, especially considering the price point of right around 80. I can't. The build quality is impeccable, just like the original Titan S. It's got that metal shell. You look at it, you think it's going to possibly be uncomfortable, but it's not. The shell is small enough to fit most ears, I think, very comfortably. Really well accessorized with a great cable that you can pick in either 3.5 or 4.4. Wonderful case, good ear tips. You got the SS tips in there. You've got candy ear tips in there. The whole package on the S2, in addition to being a very, very good quality sound. That's why that makes it to number 6. And that probably could have been higher, but we'll see why it wasn't now coming up. Here comes the top 5 for you. At number 5, the 9 Audio YU9 YAN. The YU9 Yan. This thing knocked me on my ass, and it is all because of the bass on it, and also because of the soundstage on it, because it performed so differently in the bass with the resonance from that passive fan-shaped radiator, proprietary technology. Whatever they did it right. It makes it different, it makes it interesting, it's got good detail on the bass, and then you think, well, it's not going to have much for mids. Mids are fine, warm, fairly clear, really nicely done. And then, well, you're like, oh, there's that much bass, it's not going to have any treble or any soundstage. It does. See, where... I'm going to invoke the Hades again. Where the Hades fell short for me was the fact that there just wasn't anything beyond the bass. And I understand, I get it. That's how it was intended. Straight up bass headset, straight up like your van from the 80s with the 212s in it, powered by 1,000 watts, you know, just like basically like blowing the glass out, you know, your windows out. I understand that, okay? I didn't like it. I tried to like it. But this is kind of like the YU9 Yan is kind of like what I was hoping the Hades would be. I was kind of hoping for that much tactile, impactful, rumbly, thumpy bass experience, but still having something beyond that, some sort of mid, you know, presence, a nice amount of air, not air, but a nice amount of treble energy, and it just wasn't there. It is with the YU9 Yan. So if you had the Hades and you didn't like it and you got rid of it, or it's sitting in your drawer or wherever, you gave it away like I did, and you want to have that really thick, full bass experience, even though it may not really show it as much on the graph as it is actually there for some reason, I don't know why, the YU9 Yan is the way to go. 9 Audio. Really nice job, guys. Really nice. At number 4, we have the Let's Shure SO8. Another, I think it's a 14.6 or 14.8 millimeter planar dynamic modern style tuning. I'm just going to say modern tuning. This thing, the bass will hit you like a truck, and then you do still get pretty clear, engaging mids, and then you get that really sparkly, shimmery, precise planar treble. It's not as intense as the S12 or the S12 Pro. It's not as intense as the S12 2024. If that's the style that you like better, if you like the more traditional style planar magnetic presentation, you're probably going to like the FP3 more than you'll like either the Luna or the SO8. That's just putting it out there, just for your information. The Let's Shure SO8 is definitely a modern tuning for planar. That said, great stage, great detail retrieval, great presence in the treble, really nice clear mids, a little bit of warmth, and big, thumpy bass. You really can't ask for a lot more than that. Oh, by the way, the YU9 Yan is like 109. I think RRP is 120, so barely made the list in that respect, but it does get down to closer to 100. The SO8 is right around $100. So here we are, a little bit closer to the top end of the values, but still consider them values if they're below 120. Nice job by Let's Shure this year on their sets. You'll see as we continue. The confined Delcy was such a surprise, and you know, people were talking it up, and I hadn't gotten mine yet. I ended up, oh yeah, that's right, Harrison sent me that. Thank you, Harrison. Thank you, Sindens. Thank you. That was really cool. I think it was one of the first sets that they sent me to review. When I finally did get to hear it, I was super impressed. I think it, for that price point, and this is not the AE, right? Okay, this is not, it's just the straight OG, if you can even call that, it's less than a year old, straight OG Delcy. To me, one of the best balanced sets that I've come across for under $100. 75 RRP, you can get it for less. Obviously, at this point, you're going to see it for less because it's been out a while and there are other models and there's the clean that's out and, you know, all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I probably get it for, 60, 65, somewhere in there. It's a banger for that price. Just such a beautiful, engaging, clean, mostly clear, because it does have, you know, a nice amount of mid bass. It's just one of those satisfying sets. You know, I think if you're probably noticing a theme here as we go through the list, I like things in this price range to be a bit bassy, warm, engaging, because the reason for that is because I believe that's what people are looking for in that price range. Okay, that's my preference in the price range. I'd rather have it be warm and engaging than thin and shouty and too fatiguing in the treble. So there aren't a lot of sets that lean more towards the treble on my list. It's more towards the bass and warm, engaging mids, right? Delcy has all of that and a box of chocolates. It is effing sweet. So nice job on Kafine on that one for sure. At number two, one of the most fun, energetic, but technically proficient sets that I heard this year in this price bracket, Simgot EW300. I did end up getting, there was no retune on this, guys. It's just the EW300 HBB was black, is black. I think there's a DSP version of this out now too. And I liked the color. I liked the color a lot. I'm not sure which triple win cable is on here. It's not a Zoni. It might be one level up, but I just like the aesthetic with the black and the sort of coppery rose gold with it. This set is just, besides the cable, Simgot, please work on your cables. That set is just, it's got enough text to it, it's got enough of everything to it to make it stand out for $70 as just an incredible value. But it was one of those sets where as soon as I put it in, I knew I was going to love it, and then the more I listened to it, the more I loved it. You know, and so if that's why it's at number 2, because it's one of those sets that continued to impress me and continues to impress me when I go back to it as being just an outstanding value. And everything outside of the cable, I think, is appropriate. You can buy a Zoni cable for $15 to $20 to put on there yourself. I'd recommend it, unless you don't care. If you don't care, that's fine. The cable works, unlike the SM4 cable in some cases, but the cable works just fine. It's a 3.5. It's just not my favorite. That didn't matter. It's about the sonics for the EW300. Impeccable for its price point, performs really well in the technical sense, and the build quality and the comfort, A+. So really nicely done by Simgot. Little nod to HBB for the nice color. And then number 1, as if you guys were wondering what it was going to be, it's the Arty T10 Pro. The Arty T10 Pro, basically the evolution of the T10. Better shell, little more modern style tuning. Somehow they were able to take a little bit of that ear gain and treble off without losing any technical performance. So you still have the soundstage, you still have the detail, you still have the depth, you still have the satisfaction, you still have a little bit of that magic fairy dust sprinkled all over it where you're just like, you're listening to them and you're kind of like, I don't know, this can't be this good. Must be the song, must be the source, gotta be something. And no matter what you do to it, you put it on a little 3.5 dongle, or you put it on, you know, that's not it. There it is. You put it on a little EPZ dongle, or you put it on something like the 11D1 from Shanling, the Onyx Alpha. Doesn't care. Doesn't care. It's like the fucking honey badger. It doesn't care. It doesn't care. It doesn't give a shit. Basically, whatever you do to the T10 Pro is gonna sound freaking fantastic. It has a closer to dynamic driver bass. It's got rumble, it's got thump, it's got slam, it's got all those keywords you're looking for. It's satisfying, it's thick, it's full, and then it decays quickly enough with a The mids are warm, but they're not cloying. They're still clear. They're still detailed. The ear gain's just a little tamer than the original T10, which makes it even easier to listen to. And then the treble has sparkle and shimmer, and it's that cascading treble that I love so much, that you can get from good BAs, you can get from EST, and you can get from good planars. It's just got that shimmeriness that you love it. It's not fatiguing, it's beautiful. So already knocked it out of the park. You know, I mean, I almost put the R6 on here, but it left me a little bit wanting in the bass. I didn't feel like it was kind of full enough, but that's their DSP set for under 20 bucks. That should get definitely an honorable mention. And the other one that's going to get one last honorable mention, I should have included it in the beginning, the Kinera Celest Wyvern Abyss. That was also one of my favorite sub $30 sets this year. So, I'm not going to do another full top 10 of sets that are like 40 or less. I did the best I could to include all those different price points in this list of 120 and under. That's your top 10 values for me for 2024. And that is going to do it for the day today. I hope you all enjoyed the video. I hope this is helpful to you if you're trying to make decisions, if you're buying gifts for people, whatever. I will link all of the reviews in the description. Like I said, if you go to the review, there'll be a purchase link in that description, so you can have at it. Anyway, a couple of clicks and you're there, basically. I'm still listening to it. I can't stop listening to the D62. I haven't broke out the Anunnaki. This review is going to be either up tomorrow or Wednesday. I'm still getting to know them. I'm still getting more and more impressed every time I put them in. I may have to revise the top 10 for 2024 and break the tie. Might. Of course, my buddies, you guys are killing me. I got the SLT6 coming from Meyer Audio. I think that's coming in today from my friend Rogue. And then the AFU Performer 5+2, or the P7, is also coming this week. So they're going to at least make the top, the all-time list for sure. But they might wreck my 2024 top 10 too. Hopefully they don't too much. But then again, hopefully they do, right? And the DMA is finally going to make it this week too, just in time for the all-time list. We'll see how that one stacks up all-time. All right, that's going to do it for today. Be careful, be safe, be nice. Love y'all. Nothing but peace to you. Happy holidays. I'll see you in a couple of days. Peace.